What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for One of Them Days. Now, if you have not seen this movie yet, come on back because there will be spoilers. Let me say this out the gate. I feel neglectful for this review because I didn't go run and see this like I told myself I would while this was in theaters. I allowed life to be lifing, and I missed it in its theatrical run. However, once I saw it was on Netflix, because that's where you can watch it, I watched it immediately. The trailer, when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is going to be hilarious. Keke Palmer knows what she's doing. This is SZA's acting debut. Syreeta Singleton wrote the movie, and if you know Syreeta, she wrote many episodes of Insecure. She was the showrunner for Rap Shit, which you can catch me in episode 2 of season 2. And so Issa Rae is one of the producers of the movie. I think she's the EP of the film, and so much more. And I knew that I wanted to support this because, in the words of Issa Rae, I'm rooting for everybody black. I sat down and I watched this, and this movie was about 97 minutes long. I had a blast, man. The story from beginning to end is so tight. Syreeta, you did a dope-ass job, ma. You did an amazing story. Lawrence Lamont, who directed it, bro, you did phenomenal. The story of Keke, who plays Drew, and SZA, who plays Alyssa, and how their stories are like a lot of people. Granted, there's some fictional elements to it, but I'm going to tell you something. If you're a fan of movies like Friday, the original Friday, this is a good film in that vein when you've been wanting one of those, right? To watch the struggles that they go through the whole day of just trying to pay their rent when Alyssa's living boyfriend, who's a bum, Keyshawn, takes her money, tries to invest it in a t-shirt business, and is like, yo, it's going to pop off, which is crazy because there's so much symbolism of real life in this bitch. Because I know a lot of women who deal with bum-ass niggas. And I know some dudes who deal with bum-ass women who will take money and be like, nah, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to get it back on you. Especially being tax season. But to have that and to have their landlord. Now, you know, the exceptionalism of the landlord being like, yo, if you ain't got my money by 6, I'm putting you out on the streets ASAP. When, you know, there's legal things. You can't just immediately throw somebody out. Now, that was but that adds to the movie. So, but it enhances the plot. To watch them go through everything they trying to go through to try to raise the money. Watching Keke try to donate blood. Oh my, shouts out to my girl Janelle James, man. Y'all know her as Ava Coleman from Abbott Elementary. I know Janelle as a dope-ass comedian. I've been knowing Janelle close to 15 years, man. And it is incredible to watch what she does. On camera, she is so comfortable now on camera, you can't tell me shit. And to watch the scene when she keep giving blood, and she like, yo, if I give more blood, do I get more money? And Janelle's character being like, do it. And you got Keke at one point, this was tear pale and shit. Man, all these different things happen. You know, from them seeing a pair of retro Jordans on the telephone wire, which you'll always see in the hood, many cases, them taking them bitches down, finding out who they belong to, you know, seeing Alyssa's character, SZA's character Alyssa, having a talent as an amazing painter. You know, all these different things, little pieces that all add up and come back together. This movie is so solid. And also, they live in the jungles. Now, for those who don't know about LA, the jungles is that neighborhood where Training Day, you know, where Lonzo's baby mama lives and all that. And when we sending pigeons. But to have a white woman move into the jungles is the most real shit, that one of the most realest things that's happening, because there is a lot of gentrification in a lot of predominantly black neighborhoods. You are having, if you look at, I'll use Los Angeles for example, Inglewood, California was primarily black, but once they built the SoFi Stadium into a dome, you now have a lot of white people moving into a neighborhood that was predominantly black, running up the price of the housing for there, and it typically moves black people out. You know, they redo the housing for the new white tenants. This is just a real fact. I've even seen it happen in Chicago, where there's the Little Village neighborhood, which is next to UIC. And the Little Village neighborhood was predominantly Mexican. And it was a very culturally dense neighborhood, very culturally rich. And you would have white people move in, some white students at first, because it was lower rent than every place else, because the neighborhood wasn't deemed safe. and they move in, and then they complain about the neighborhood and things that have been there. They complain about the music, where the Mexican families are playing music and they're celebrating, and they complain about the graffiti, which is just Mexican culture painted on the walls, and they're just moved here. So having that with having Bethany played by Maude Apatow was amazing, but she wasn't that gentrifying character though. You know what I'm saying? She was a product of gentrification, but not that gentrifying character. She was the type where she just moved in and she was like, I'm just trying to be cool with everybody. I mean Joseph. Man, him playing King Lolo was amazing. Now, if you don't know Mean Joseph, go watch Snowfall. Go watch him as Jerome in Snowfall. But to watch him play a gangster on this level, because when you hear it, you first start thinking about Jerome from Snowfall. But the more you watch him play the character, you're like, oh, he's over the top with it on purpose. It is beautiful the reason he's over the top. Cat Williams is Lucky. Cat is Cat. Can't go wrong with that. Good seeing the homie Desi Banks in it. My homeboy Tony Baker's in it. Got Tony working at a Church's Chicken with a man who's stealing biscuits. It's great. But one of the big points is how throughout everything of Alyssa and Drew trying to get all together, Drew has an interview for a franchise management position. She works as a waitress at Norm's, and she's been working there so long, and she believes she's ready to be the manager. And having this incident happen where this girl Bernice is sleeping with Alyssa's boyfriend. Bernice been chasing them all movie, catches up with him, start beating SZA's ass outside, Alyssa's ass, and then Drew has to run out after her during her interview, or right after her interview, and save Alyssa, but ended up getting beat up as well. And then Drew loses the job opportunity that was just promised to her. But this caused a bumping of heads. Yo, you don't have your life together. You don't have a plan. You blame everybody for your shit. You blame everybody. And you have this bumping of heads. And it's beautiful because you find friends who are like that, where there is this small level of resentment that is never spoken about. It builds up until something happens, and then there's a blow up. But the thing that brings them back together is Drew's believing in Alyssa's talent as a painter. After seeing Bethany wanted to buy one of Alyssa's paintings and bought that bitch for $300 on the spot. Which, by the way, I got a couple paintings. You want to buy this Red Hood I painted? Yeah, I'm selling this joint. I got this for $150. I got a Rugrats here too. I got some others I painted, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, but watching that brings them back together, help raise this money because King Lolo's trying to kill them, but then they're still trying to raise more money to pay their rent and all these different things. But at the end of the day, everything works out and their bond is so strong because even though they had this little tiff, if you will, their friendship and sisterhood is what keeps them building and growing together and even building further in their careers, as we find out in the epilogue. But overall, man, this movie is amazing. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And I'm not saying this as just because I know the players of the game in this film. I'm not just saying this because it's just a black movie. And I know I said earlier I'm rooting for everybody black. I know what I said. I'm saying this because this is a dope-ass, solid movie. And I think that's what we're missing in general. And a lot of us look for different plots and different things to move forward, and just being able to just sit back and enjoy a movie, take the ride with them from beginning to end. And that's what you get in this one, man. I highly recommend you see one of them days. Like I said, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. Listen, thank y'all to everybody who rocks with your boy and watches everything, who is subscribed, man. Everybody who's jumped down with the Mad Titan podcast. We're back every Monday. So make sure you subscribe every place you get your podcast from. People who subscribe to the Supervillain Squad on Patreon and support. Every Tuesday, I give you other nerdy news. I'm finding a name for it. But I talk about all the news shit that's not Marvel and DC TV shows and movies. I do that every Tuesday. Every Thursday, we talk pro wrestling. That's WWE, AEW, TNA, MLW, in New Japan, etc., etc. I'm also putting exclusively my pro wrestling matches are going up in my Patreon. So yeah, if you want to ever see me in the ring, it's my Patreon. Do that. What else? Send a super thanks if you want here, or you can support Cash App and Venmo. I'm doing a lot. I'm gonna be doing a fundraiser because I gotta have spinal surgery, and it's minimally invasive, but it's gonna keep me down. So I gotta do a fundraiser to make some funds to keep myself whole. So please stay tuned for all that. I appreciate all y'all for rocking with your boy. Again, I'm selling this. You want to buy this? DM me on IG. selling this for like $150, and that's with the shipping. Also, I got for those who are fans of the Punisher, I did a nice little Punisher thing with bullet holes in it. And then if you got some kids and you want to get them a Rugrats, man, just DM me. I do painting too. Anyway, holla at y'all later. Till then.